Good day, brothers and sisters, One Nation Tribal Alliance, friends and family near and far, across the pond and this side of the lake. Today, I am doing, I guess, the third podcast on what I have been led to share with y'all. And I believe the first one was titled, you know, This is Where It Gets Real. And I talked about that. And yesterday, I talked about who we are, our frequency, our energy, our vibration. I touched up on that. And again, you know, meeting with the elders that I do, we always have a concern about what is going on out there, even though this has been predicted throughout all history of what is going to happen. There are too many uh, predictions out there that are fear mongering and everything. So the elders and I have just basically said that we need to just calm everybody down. We need to calm ourselves down, because in this world right now, there are things that are happening that is beyond our control. But if we stay in ourselves, stay grounded, stay connected, we don't have to, you know, be a part of it. So, as I said, challenges are there. Learn to walk through these challenges and not become a part of it because we are infinite beings. And so, I guess in my podcast today, I just want to kind of not repeat everything I said, but just kind of bring out to you what I am here to do right now. And that is to share the knowledge, to learn, to teach, because I'm always learning. I'm always learning about different things from people. But we need to share this knowledge to everybody to say that, who we are as an infinite being. We need to say that we are here to present ourselves to be what we are. I know it's a lot of question within a question, but in the past, again, like we said, that was passed down to me by my elders back in the 60s. One of the things that they were telling me is that Chimonaho se mag-ata na. And that's always been in my heart, asking to why, you know, which means that the new generation will be so high in technology and education and all that it's allowing them to pull away from the spiritual life. And it's also allowing them to get away from survival. And it's also taking them away from their responsibility to Mother Earth and the Creator. So when I look at this word, Tse Magatana, you know, at first I didn't understand it, but now when I see it happening everywhere. When I talk to people back home, they bring it out to me. Like I said, in the Kiva, people are praying, singing songs, and learning about how to survive in this physical world. when they are being taught, these younger generation, they may act like they're paying attention, but their focus is more on text messaging, playing a game on their phone while it is being taught. I myself, as an elder, if I be teaching and I saw that, you know, not being harsh, but I would ask the individual, what is important? That phone or what we're teaching you? And let him answer that question. If it's the phone, you can take it outside, you know, because we don't want interruption while we're teaching, while we're sharing the knowledge. But if it's the teaching, put that phone away or take it outside or put it in a car, wherever. Because we all want to learn, we all want to share the right thing. Because if they only pay attention half the time, they are shortcutting their gifts, their knowledge, their spiritual belief. Spiritual belief is not religion. I don't pound spiritual ways to people. I use it by the mirror of my image. Using my mirror, I go around. You know, a lot of people stop and talk to me, whether it's a simple thing like, where are you from? And I would tell them. And then just by exchanging a few words, they see my energy, they feel my energy, they are aware of my energy, and they want to connect with me, whether it's in a grocery store, gas station, wherever. And this is how we should be, you know. And so, you know, again, I'm not going to blame anybody other than to say AI, artificial intelligence. And that's exactly what it means, artificial intelligence. Because why is it artificial? Because it's to control you. Spiritual life does not control you. You control yourself in the spiritual life. AI, artificial intelligence, controls you, whether you realize it or not. Again, it takes away your survival skills. I've been, I don't look for it, but I've been watching some videos on how they are bringing out artificial intelligence to harvest farms, to drive these trucks, to drive your car, to drive you around where you don't have to drive. I have seen artificial intelligence taking control of people. You know, when COVID came out, they had artificial intelligent dogs out there sniffing people that might have COVID. Or they were out there looking at people that were not ruling or observing the rule of staying 6 feet apart. This, we don't want this. We don't, I don't want it. Even though I was warned about it in my earlier years, I did not think that far ahead because also I was taught like mindful meditation, being in the present moment. When I was told about this, what's going to happen with AI and all this. Set Magadan again. Now, when I was told about that, I did not want to accept it, but I knew it was going to happen one day, and that day is here now. And so now, the reason why they told me that back in my beginning of training is because they wanted me to prepare. They wanted me to be a positive mirror to those that are being controlled, that are being taken away, that have not been taught the right way. So, as we look at this, this is the reason why these elders are concerned. This is just one of the reasons. You know, connecting. I talked about being connected, grounding. Grounding is just, again, it has three things or four things. When I teach about raising vibration, it's four things. Grounding in the first level is in the pure conscious level is I am. In the medicine world, is south, red, Mother Earth. In the chakras, is root, connection. And in the seven conscious level, it's survival. Why survival? Is because, again, when we first come out of the chute, like I said, everything is written for us to follow. That's where control starts. School, college, work, everything is lined up for you. They can tell you when to work, what days to work, what hours to work. And how they control you is giving you money. Whereas when I was growing up, I remember minimum wage being like $2 an hour. But it didn't make a difference because I was out there working on the fields, whether it's a cornfield, watermelon field, squash, little gardens, whatever. Zuni was self-sufficient to where we didn't worry about buying stuff, going to Walmart and buy vegetables. We didn't. My grandma could keep a watermelon all winter long, and it still be fresh by springtime. How she done that? I don't know yet. I should have learned how she done it. All I know, she had a special room in the house that she would keep it in there because that was the coolest spot in the house. There are some people that would tell me that if you get your chili and fresh green chili, and if you freeze it, you gotta leave that stem on. You gotta leave that stem on so it don't rot in the freezer. My mama used to do that. During the winter months, my mama used to have fresh. She would thaw out that chili, she would have fresh green chili on the table. These things we're losing. Survival skills. Yeah, you can go to Walmart. You can go to Walmart. What if you don't have a job and don't have the money? Can you still go to Walmart and get some? No. These are the things. Planting. We come up with all kinds of excuses not to plant, but we forget who we are. We're infinite beings. Elders are worried about us knowing how strong we are spiritually because, again, like I said about the rain, I put a videotape on a guy that was trying to bring out a message about distress. How on a reservation that he was from, they're running out of water, drinking water. Even though they don't have water lines hooked up to each houses, they have to haul water but the water that they, or the well that they use to haul water ran dry, or it broke down and there's no maintenance on it. And so where do they go next to get water? And that's why he was distressed about. He was trying to put his word in to say, we're out of water. But again, as infinite being, manifestation, connecting, you know, mindful meditation, it's written everywhere. Emerald tablets, the Bible, in our hieroglyphs, meaning that live for today, at the moment, at the present moment. You know, when I was told about the new generation, I said, what about living in the present moment? Can I get to that moment now about them changing? I said, no, you got to stay in the present moment to learn, to be a mirror, to where when that time comes, you can go and you can reflect what we are teaching you. You can reflect the survival skills. You know, it's a lot of people tell me when I say, what are you going to do when everything shuts down? Oh, I can go out and I can kill a deer and I can do it. I said, do you know how to process it? Do you know how to save a deer meat that will last you about 2 or 3 months without being refrigerated? I do. I'm trying to share that knowledge, but nobody's listening. They're ready to Google it and try to find out how to take care of a deer or how to process a deer and how to save the meat for 3 months, but I don't know if it tells them the right way or not. You know, it's work, but you know, cause and effect. We put in good work to save our meat, it will happen. You know. So then we go into ourselves, the way the elders taught me. The elders said that we are not sharing the knowledge of who we are. So we talked about that. We talked about, you know, our ways that we need to bring out. And, you know, we talked about how we need to share the knowledge because this spiritual life is not forced upon you, but it's an effort that you can look forward to and become the awakened one. Once you're awakened, you need to continue because when you're awakened, remember, survivals, you know, in a cerebral conscious level, we are controlled where sometimes control goes into abuse. And it's sad, but a lot of people have gone through abuse. And when they finally escape from it, they are awakened to ask that question: how did I survive? Why did I survive? How do I get to live at this present moment, knowing what happened to me in the past? Spiritual life will guide you through it of living at the present time. You know, our energy is controlled. You know, energy is controlled through the movements of our emotion. You know, if our vibration is up, Our emotions are going to be strong, happy, vibrant. But if our vibration is low, our energy is going to be low with us. You don't want to do anything. You just want to huddle up and lay in bed. Now that we're in vibration, vibration is a mirror image of who you are, who you want to present to, of really who you are. You know, when I go to places, when I go back home, you know, some of my good, close brothers that are out there know that alcohol is not part of my life. So when I show up, they offer me water, tea, whatever. And I appreciate them. But if I leave that image with them, it's a start of them. And they look at me and says, wow, how can you be strong enough to say no? I say, it's easy. I just choose not to be part of my life because of who I am. My mirror is going to be saying all this for me. I don't have to bring it out, you know, because one thing is that, you know, as they told me in the past, my elders, they said, to yayu bachitu, ko osto lak leu, tewan hostomu sonakeyakto, nakyanna. Meaning that what you do today, positive is great. People will know you do positive things. But you do one thing negative, people will remember that negative. And remember, I talked about having a buried root. That's part of it. You know, you don't want your mirror to be shiny on top and have a little tarnish on the bottom that the people know of what you did. Because if they're not awakened, they're going to keep that memory in them. But now reverse that. Whoever does anything towards you, negative or negatively, walk through it and let it go. Forgive them. Don't carry that with you because that's going to end up being a hidden emotion in your ceremony. Now, once you learn how, when you go to an elder or a spiritual, or when you go to an elder to seek spiritual mentorship, you know, you are creating a bridge between the visible and the invisible. Because once you understand your vibration, your energy, the next thing you want to look at is frequency. What is frequency? Frequency comes in cycles. Remember, I was telling you, as I was growing up, every full moon, I would fast. Why do I need to fast? Well, after fasting 4 days, you know, if you fast with your heart, your full intentions, you feel sanctified. You get recharged. You just get ready to go for it again. You know, because and to understand how to stay recharged is every day. Everything you do, whether you're out there helping people or just out there in general public, you got to understand there's a lot of negative energy out there. You don't want to bring it home. Just like when I come home and I feel like I'm dragging something heavy, Here's my weapon. And you can do other things. You can have relics placed around your house for protection. Crystal removes negative energy. Cyanide removes negative energy. Connect with the plants. Plants have spirit. Connect with the plants. Get a snake plant. Put it by your door because it's protecting you. When you come through the entrance, whatever negative energies out there that might be following you, the snake plant will stop it. You know, this is what the elders have been taught. And I was taught that way. Things to protect you, the relics, believe in it, understand the power behind this. Because again, like we say, everything here on Mother Earth has a spirit. So create a cycle to rejuvenate yourself, whether it's sound bath, whether it's fasting, whether it's cleansing, whatever it takes. At the end, in the end, I'm going to share with you some of the quotes that I read or shared with you. And that is, do not shortcut your gifts because when you shortcut your gifts, you shortcut your vibrational connection. And when you meditate and pray, remember the universe, they don't speak English, they don't speak Zuni, they don't speak any other language. So your intentions is what your frequency. Frequency is what you project. And that projection is that you're bringing it out mentally, spiritually, and it is projected in silence. That's why when you in deep meditation, mindful meditation, you're in the present moment. You're in a position where you're connected in reverence. These are the things that I wanted to bring out. And we're here at One Nation Tribal Alliance. We're here to share knowledge. And if I don't have the knowledge to share, I will seek. And if you're nearby, you want hands-on training, I'm here. I'm here. So I love you all, and I care for y'all, and I pray for y'all every day. Those that watch this, I pray for you because we're all in the same place. We all need to be who we are and understand that we are a strong, infinite being. We are the image of our Creator. So thank you for your time. I love you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.